Hi, welcome in. It's Shaped with Kate. Today we're doing binding yoga. So we're going to go through lots of binds to open up our hips, open up our upper body, and we'll just start on our backs on our mat. Take about 3 to 5 rounds of breath to find any pose and just settle into your mat, settle into your yoga practice. Bringing awareness to your heart and mind. Maybe you're here to find restfulness, or maybe strength, or maybe just to find a break from your day-to-day life. Wherever you're at, let's start to bring the soles of the feet to the earth with bent knees. Bring the feet to the outer edges of your mat, and then arms can fall in a T position. Let's rock those knees side to side. As you press the knees to the floor, one hip is going to pop up. You can add this twist to your upper spine, rocking your head side to side. Beautiful. On that inhale, lengthen both arms and legs. Exhale, tuck the knees and chin into your chest, into a tight ball. And then next exhale, melt your head back to the earth. Palms come to your knees. And then let's bring those knees to our armpits, coming into a happy baby pose. So you can keep it here if you're feeling a little bit cold. If you're already ready to come into happy baby pose, let the hands wrap around the edges of your feet, and then exhale to sink lower. Now you can rock side to side. Really finding an active pose here, so pressing the soles of the feet into the hands, hands into the feet, and the knees towards the earth. A little bit more activation, almost act like you're going to lengthen both legs, but you're just pressing the palms into the hands, and your hands are preventing you from lengthening the legs. Good, release, bring heels together, release the hands. And then when you're ready, come up into your tabletop position. Heading into just about 5 inhales and exhales of cat-cows. So when you're ready, inhale, go into a cow pose. Your choice of staying there or exhaling to cat. Find your rhythm. Finding one more round. And then heading back to neutral tabletop. Let's inhale, reach the right arm to the sky. Exhale, thread it under that left elbow, finding a thread the needle. Right ear and right temple find the earth. And then let's make this a half bind. So reach the left fingertips forward. Really find that twist in that upper body and squaring in the hips. And then reach the left fingertips up to the sky. Flip the palm in the opposite direction. That back hand reaches for your right hip. Good. Finding our half binding pose. Maybe sink deeper into this thread the needle. Good. Go ahead and unwind. Gaze to the fingertips. Find tabletop. Inhale to the other side. When you're ready, right fingertips now reach to the top of your mat. Then sweep them up to the sky. Flip your palm. Reach back hand to your lower hip. Roll the shoulder back and down. Breathing into this nice gentle twist. When you're ready, release. Unwind your needle. As you set your palms down, widen your stance, curl the toes under. Find your down dog. Pedal out those heels. And then walk your feet slowly up to the top of your mat. Find your forward fold. Let the head and heart hang heavy. And then bring awareness to that spine. Slowly stack all those joints as you roll up to mountain pose. Nice and gently here. Rolling the shoulders back and down. Our first standing pose of the day, so bring awareness back to that purpose for your yoga practice. Then either arms at heart center or reaching to the sky. Let's inhale to exhale, find our first chair pose. Knees can be as bent as you'd like. And then find your forward fold. Good. Walk your hands over to the left. Just so now our fingertips are facing the edge of our mat. And then just go ahead and gently, keeping the fingertips to the floor, bend that right elbow, adding a nice side body stretch. Almost as if you were trying to do a pull up towards the floor. Then walk your hands through center, walk it over to the other side. Same thing, bend that left elbow generously. Think about doing a pull up towards your feet. Good, and release. Inhale to that half lift. Plant the hands, step the toes back into plank position. Our first plank pose of the day. Find that inhale, little lift. Inhale to shift forward. Exhale, lower down to the earth. Inhale to a cobra. And then exhale, press back into a downward facing dog. Inhale, right heel up to the sky. Sweep it forward towards your nose. Set that foot down. Inhale to rise. Find high crescent lunge. And then let's pivot that foot to find warrior two. Front heel aligns with that back arch of your foot. Keep the integrity of that warrior two, so bending at the knee. Swords can be in or out. And let's inhale, reach forward and back, reverse warrior. Maybe you reach that right hand down towards your shoulder and then creep the left fingertips up your spine. Good. Finding cow face arms. And exhale to release. Find your side angle. And then let's lengthen the left fingertips to the sky. Reach the right hand down to the floor, finding a deeper side angle. And then just try to stack those shoulders. Keep that weight off of those toes. Keep bending the leg. Good. Drop the left fingertips down. Frame your right foot. And then sweep that right leg back into plank. Inhale to shift forward. Exhale, lower down. Find cobra or upward facing dog. When you're ready, find downward facing dog. Then let's head to the other side. Inhale, left heel up to the sky. Sweep it forward. Inhale to rise. High crescent lunge. Find warrior two. And you know the flow from here. Inhale to reach forward and back. Find that reverse warrior. Maybe you find a bind. Fingertips don't have to touch. Use that inhale breath to find that length in the left side body. Exhale to release. Find side angle. Gaze to the ground as you reach left palm to the earth. Try to keep the body stacked on one another. Let's head back into that plank pose. So right palm comes down, frame your left foot. Find your flow. Maybe you hold each pose longer this time. And then we're heading back to our Uttanasana pose, forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, heading back into chair pose. And then rising mountain pose. Heel toe those feet to the outer edges of your mat, finding Malasana pose. Heels are on the ground. If heels don't touch your hips, come a little bit higher. And then two options, you can either find just a twist or that bind. So go ahead and just hinge at your waist a little bit more. So press your belly to your inner thighs. And then left palm comes down to the earth. Almost think about tucking that left tricep to your knee. And then reach the right fingertips to the sky. Find a twist. Flip that right palm the opposite direction and place your back hand on your lower left hip. Now let's wrap that hook of the elbow around our left knee. This palm is facing up. And then you can flip the palms together so you can clasp your hands, finding a Malasana bind. You can find your deepest progression for at least a half breath. If you'd like to stay here longer, stay here. We're just heading to the other side, so when you're ready, releasing. If you need a little breather from Malasana, you can stand back up. Or that right palm comes to the center. Start to find your twist. Left fingertips reach for the sky. Bend your elbow, reach for your lower right hip. And then hook that elbow around your knee flexion. Maybe this side you can touch. Find your bind. Appreciate this closeness with the body. Maybe you close your eyes. Good. And release. Let's go ahead and gently come out of this Malasana. You can either find half lift or head straight into forward fold. Pivot the toes when you're ready. Good, let's heel toe those toes together. And then let's just bend and straighten the knees. Adding just a little bit more heat to the body. If you'd like to make this a little bit more difficult, then bend and straighten the knees one at a time. Good, inhale to that halfway lift. And then let's find chair pose. Good, let's go ahead and twist to the right, hook the left elbow around. Option to stay here, or you can find a bind, so open up the fingertips and the arms. Flip the palms in the opposite directions, and then place back hands against the body. Your fingertips don't have to touch. Good, and come back to center. If you need, you can stand up in mountain pose before you twist to the other side. Lengthen both arms, flip the palms, and then place back hands against the body, finding your bind. Good, you know the drill from here. Unwinding when you're ready. Good, then planting the hands, stepping back into down dog, lengthening those legs, pedaling them out. This time as we shift forward, let's ripple the spine. So lift the heels, lift the tailbone, and then just start to lift every vertebrae here. So lift them towards the ceiling, your spine coming up last. Finding plank pose, you're already shifting forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to that upward facing dog. Beautiful. Last binding pose before we head back to the floor. Inhale, right heel up to the sky, sweep it forward. Same flow as we inhale to rise. High crescent lunge. Flow into your warrior two. Heading to reverse warrior to side angle. This time in our side angle, let's come back into that palm to the ground. Maybe you like it here, or you find your bind. Bend at your right elbow. Try to hook that right shoulder underneath. And then thread your hand underneath that right leg. Reach for your right glute. Bend the top arm. Reach for the right fingers. From here, you can start to heel toe the feet together. You could just stay here now in a forward fold bind, or bring that weight to that left foot. And then pick the right toes off the ground, finding your bird of paradise pose. If you come back down, you can gently come back down if you lose balance, and then float off again. Now we didn't do a lot of hamstring work, so if you wanted to straighten your leg, you could. Ooh. Okay. If you feel like you just got there, stay there. If you need a release here, let's widen that stance. Find a wide-legged forward fold. As we come up into bird of paradise, you may switch directions as I did, or you may be facing the front of the mat. Doesn't matter here. Good, wherever you're at, we're just coming back into a plank pose. finding that flow in between. Let's start in downward facing dog and do that same ripple forward to plank. Exhale to chaturanga. Inhale to open up the heart. Exhale to counter pose. Inhale, left heel up, sweep it forward. Find high crescent lunge to warrior two. Reverse warrior to side angle. From your side angle, you can stay here or bend the left elbow, hook the left shoulder next to the left knee. Sweep the left fingertips underneath the leg. Catch hold with the right fingertips to the left. Gaze comes to the ground. So the last time I heel toe my feet together, another option is just to step right foot next to the left and then bring that weight to the right foot. Maybe just your heel lifts off the earth, or you can press up into bird of paradise pose. Find that spot on the wall and floor. So your gaze and your kind of point of stability is going to move up and down. Find it and stabilize yourself. You can straighten your leg here if you'd like. Last time I came down and unwind. Another option too is to slowly release the leg and find a standing pose. Good, wherever you're at, whether you're on the side of your mat or front, let's find wide-legged forward fold. Rock hips side to side. And then we'll take one last flow. Make your way to the front of your mat. If you're on the side, step your feet into down dog. Rippling that spine forward into plank. Let's see if you can go a little bit slower. On your exhale, finding chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. From downward facing dog, slowly just lower the knees down. Let the palms slide forward. Uncurl the toes. Find child's pose. Gonna roll up to your seated position. Kick the legs forward. We're gonna find a few more binds here on the earth. Lower your spine down. Tuck the knees into your chest. Good, with the knees in the chest, let's drop our arms either in cactus arms or T position. And then let's just rock those hips side to side. And then exhale, let's lower the knees over to the left. So that whole side of the left leg falls to the earth. Try to keep your shoulders to the ground. It's almost another variation of supine spinal twist. Good, let's lengthen the right leg, so that top leg. Flex the foot. You might feel that stretch here. Maybe you even dip your big toe to the earth. And then finding a bind, so reaching left fingertips to big toe. You can stay here in a half bind, or if you'd like, you can sweep the left knee back and then reach the right hand for your left toes. Now this is kind of an awkward space, so if you can and if it feels right for your knee, you can gently sit up and then set the leg back down, only if that feels nice for your knee. We don't want to strain anything here. And then if you are catching hold of that left foot, just roll the right shoulder down so that both shoulder blades touch the earth. And you can have that generous bend in your knee. Remember, in yoga, we find what works for your body. If you're holding on to that bottom leg, go ahead and gently release. Exhale to release the top. Come out of this the same way you came in. Moving those knees back to center, and then just rocking side to side before we head to our right side. Arms come back down to the floor. Pivot those knees over to the right now, keeping shoulders square. Lengthen your left leg. Feel that stretch already, so you can have an option to completely take out your bind. Or maybe you dip the big toe to the earth, lifting the heel to the sky. Right hand now reaches for the left big toe. Use your heel against you. Drive that heel even more out and away from you and towards the sky. You want to add more of a bind. You can reach left fingertips to the bottom leg, making sure to roll that shoulder back down. And again, if you are finding that half bind, it's just not feeling right, you can just find a half breath there and find just the half bind. One side doesn't mirror the other. Good. Gently release, making your way back to knees to center. Take a few breaths in and out. Notice how when you exhale, more of the body sinks to the earth. Then on your next exhale, slowly let the body inch down towards the earth. So dropping the arms, dropping the legs. Rolling the shoulders away from the ears, opening the palms to the sky. Let's take 3 rounds of breath. Inhale deep. Exhale out the mouth. Almost even push out all the air. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Feel the body start to relax. Eyebrows moving to your ears. Final inhale to exhale, and I leave you here in Savasana. Go ahead and start to wake up from your Savasana. Take 3 inhales and exhales to shift out of that pose. Adding any movements that your body is in need of. And then taking 3 final breaths either on your spine or in fetal pose. Making your way up to a seated position. Hands coming to heart center. Sign gratitude towards yourself for finding movement today, finding binds, connecting with your heart and mind. And then bowing forward as respect to your yoga practice as a whole. Namaste.